Good evening, everyone. Before we begin formally, let me present the flow of the program. We'll begin with a welcome address, followed by a brief introductory video of the university. Then we shall invite the esteemed representative of the Curtin University for the presentation. Then we shall request the resource person to answer a few questions raised by the attendees in the Q&A segment. We shall conclude the session with a vote of thanks.
Ashley, what is the greatest fear that you're undergoing now?
Of course, it is the fear of the future. What will be my future profession? How can I ensure a bright future? Which university offers the most suitable course for me so that I can build a dream career in the future? These are the traumas many of us have.
Yes, many have this fear in their minds. But proper planning can solve this problem to a great extent and can ensure a bright future.
Exactly. This is what we are here for. Avenir 2021 is organized with a vision to help students to navigate their future and make their dreams real. The French word avenir means the future or time to come. It is a platform where the participating students will be empowered to confidently make wise career options and decisions.
Programs like Avenir 2021 play a critical and decisive role in the fulfillment of this vision by guiding and shaping the future of the youth. Each day of the Avenir 2021 is linked with a specific branch of multiple intelligence. On day 5, the maroon-colored garnet is associated with visual spatial intelligence. Young leaders possessing skills in puzzle building, painting, constructing, fixing, designing objects can fulfill their dreams as sculptors, artists, inventors, architects, mechanics, or engineers.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to wholeheartedly welcome dignitaries from the Ministry of Education, Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Honorable Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman, members of the various Board of Directors, CBSE officials, distinguished members of the Ministry of Education, Oman, officials of the Embassy of India, Sultanate of Oman, Mr. Alkesh Joshi, Honorary President of the School Management Committee, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, presidents and members of the school management committees of all Indian schools in Oman and from other schools and boards across the globe, principals, vice principals, heads of various departments, coordinators, teachers, parents, staff and students of all the participating schools. Welcome all.
A very warm welcome to all present here virtually with us for this session on day 5 of Avenir 2021. Your hosts for this evening are myself, Sanna of class 9, and Ashley of class 11 from Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir.
Dear audience, it is our pride and privilege to have you all here with us on this journey of molding and carving out our dreams into reality by making right choices on the intersection point of rising opportunity and our life preparations.
Dear audience, you're requested to fill in the feedback form, which will be posted in the chat box towards the end of the session. Filling this form is necessary as it would fetch you a participation certificate. Those who have joined us through YouTube Live are requested to check the description box for the link to the feedback form.
Today, we are honored to have with us Mr. Abdullah Al-Kindi, an eminent representative of Curtin University, who will discuss the programs and courses they offer. Before that, let's watch a video presentation about the university.
Feels like change is never going to come. Like it's some distant, faraway place. I say that when enough of us believe real change is possible, it's already begun.
Patients are being treated from thousands of kilometers away.
DNA is being extracted from our ocean to protect threatened coral ecosystems.
Satellites are being launched that you can hold in the palm of your hand. In a world seeking equality, we're using research to help close the gender gap and provide greater opportunities for all.
John Curtin believed that true change begins with education. So if you're ready for change, we're ready for you. Join us. Change is here. Curtin University.
That was indeed a splendid video. Now I call upon our guest speaker for the session, Mr. Abdullah Al-Kindi from Curtin University. Over to you, sir, for your presentation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abdullah Al-Kindi. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. I certainly don't deserve this much praise. I'm just an ordinary guy promoting for an esteemed university. I'm just lucky to be in this position to promote such an elite university. Like I said, I'm actually a graduate of Curtin University. I've done chemical engineering. I've lived in Perth, Western Australia for 6.5 years. But more on that later. I'll just share my screen if you guys don't mind for a presentation. And we can start there. 1 second.
Sir, are you able to share the screen?
I'm not able to share the screen for some reason. Am I being denied of sharing the screen?
No, sir.
1 second. That's strange. Can I send a presentation? Oh, it's too big to send. It's strange.
Yes, sir. You can send the presentation to the below the given email ID that is given at the chat.
One second, people. I do apologize for this. It's a bit strange. I can't seem to. It's not identifying the presentation on my share.
Good evening, sir.
Second.
Sir, are you able to share the screen?
I'm not able to share the screen for some reason. I don't understand.
Okay.
What's happening.
We have made you photo, sir. Can you see at the bottom share screen?
Yeah, I know how to share a screen, but
You can just click
not
on it
identify. Yeah.
and play your file, sir. Either in advance or in basic, anything, and select your file and share, sir.
Yeah, but it seems like I have a privacy problem. I've just updated my laptop. I think I've done it at the wrong time. 1 second. Let me try to send the.
Sir, till your video gets ready, we will be playing your university video, sir.
Sorry?
Till your video presentation is getting ready, we will play your university video, sir.
Okay.
Feels like change is never going to come. Like it's some distant, faraway place. I say that when enough of us believe real change is possible, it's already begun.
Patients are being treated from thousands of kilometres away.
DNA is being extracted from our ocean to protect threatened coral ecosystems.
Satellites are being launched that you can hold in the palm of your hand. In a world seeking equality, we're using research to help close the gender gap and provide greater opportunities for all.
John Curtin believed that true change begins with education. So if you're ready for change, we're ready for you. Join us. Change is here. Curtin University.
I've sent the presentation to the email. Did you receive it?
So we are not able to access the file.
It's a bit difficult.
It's a protected file from the university side.
One second. Okay, sent again. Well done. Thank you. I do apologize. For this, Miss, are you the one who's controlling the presentation? Just go down to the slideshow.
Ma'am, please click on slideshow menu and go for slideshow.
No, just the slideshow. Just go down. Yep. Yes. Just say next if you don't mind. I do apologize for this technical difficulty that we're facing. My name is Abdullah Al-Kindi. I am recruited as in Curtin University as a recruitment service provider. I basically represent the Curtin University Perth campus in the Middle East. I foresee all the applications and any questions about living costs, challenges, benefits of studying abroad. And I also help all of our students from the Middle East, sponsored students, self-funded students, and as an experienced person who actually lived in Western Australia for 6.5 years, I think I can give you some of my very limited knowledge, and I can help you for this your journey in the future, the near future. I do believe that we have a number of 11 and year 11, year 12 students. You guys mentioned, Ashley mentioned that the fear is coming of the future. I do want to emphasize that there is some sort of fear about the unknown. There is some sort of uncertainty, and if anything, we should make this kind of fear and uncertainty to fuel our passion, to fuel our love for knowledge, and we can pursue our goals and in the near future. Please, next slide. We'll go to the next slide. So this is an overview of our presentation today. So overview of Western Australia. Where is Australia? Where is Western Australia? I'm sure everyone's heard of Australia before, but maybe not many of you heard of Perth. Not many of you heard of Western Australia. So we'll talk about Western Australia for a fair bit. I will go through this presentation quite fast. I always believe that most of the interactive events is the most beneficial. So I'll just give you an overview of this presentation. Really fast, 5-10 minutes, and we leave the floor for the questions. And I do encourage everyone to open their mics, open their cameras, so we can have a nice face-to-face experience. And we learn from all of you. Not only you guys will learn about Curtin University, I will also learn from you guys. It will always be a two-way knowledge stream. So we'll talk about introduction to Curtin University, then we'll have a COVID overview, and then we'll leave the floor for any questions. So this is Perth city. It's the capital city of Western Australia. So Western Australia is located on the western part of Australia. It is the biggest province. It is kind of the richest province as well. We have a lot of production of gold. We have a production of oil, production of gas, very nice landscape for agriculture. And some of you maybe heard about the gold rush in the early 1900s. It was all mostly in Western Australia. Next slide, please. So what to do in Perth? There are so many things to do in Perth. We have a nice old port city that is called Fremantle, which is half an hour train ride. We have a lot of things to do like canoeing. We have a lot of beach activities, let alone the city that is mostly alive during the day, and late night shopping on Thursdays and Wednesdays. and also many things to do in the outskirts of Perth. If you just rent a car for 1 hour, you can find many things to do like national parks, rooftop cinemas, Swan Valley where you can find food and wineries, and also there are lots of things to do in other things like Perth Zoo and so forth. Next slide, please. Perth weather. Many of you know that when you talk about the southern hemisphere of the globe, we have what you call the opposite kind of weather. So their summer is in December, January, February, and that's what you get summer holidays. So the summer holiday starts in late November, you finish the second semester, and you have 3 months holidays in December, January, February. Just end of February, you will have your orientation week, and the first week of study normally is the first week of March for the first semester. And the winter starts in June, July, August. So it's the other way around. So if you're the kind of person who hates summer and hates Oman weather, Perth is a very good place to be. It does get a bit hot in the summer, but hey, if you are an international student, you can fly back to the Middle East where the weather is nice during the winter here, and it's quite hot there. And when it's very hot here during the summers of June, July, August, you can just fly back to Australia and enjoy the nice winter. It doesn't get too cold. Temperatures, as you can see in the winter, varies from a low of 8 degrees Celsius to 19 degrees Celsius. Next slide, please. So Perth is considered one of the best cities to live in the world. For the past 13 years, Perth has been ranked in the top 10 most livable cities. It is also considered one of the top places to be in 2019. It's a very close proximity to Southeast Asia. So it's 3 hours to Bali, 5 hours to Hong Kong, 6 hours to Malaysia. It's 7 hours to Japan, and it's around 10 hours to New Zealand. So when you are in that part of the world, it's very nice that you get to see all of these places. It is something that I've actually done in my last year in Australia. It's visited Japan, visited Malaysia, Hong Kong, New Zealand, and yeah, once you are in that part of the globe, it is very easy to fly around in that part of the place. And not to mention that the time difference between Muscat and Perth, it's only 4 hours. But if you talk about the eastern part of Australia, which is 6 hours or 7 hours, depending on daylight savings, because the time changes in the east, but we don't have daylight savings in Perth, so it's only fixed 4 hours. So whenever you want to speak to your family, it's not that big of an inconvenience. Next slide, please. Perth is considered the cheapest major city in Australia. So it's the 46th most expensive city in the world. You can see Sydney is 10th most expensive city, Melbourne is the 14th most expensive city, Adelaide and Brisbane. And not to mention that Perth is a very new city. So many of you have heard of Melbourne and Sydney, or maybe even Canberra. So Canberra is the capital city of Australia, the political capital city. But living in Sydney and Melbourne, it tends to get really expensive. And when we speak about the living expenses in Perth, it gets substantially lower because the university campus is not in the middle of the city. So you don't have to live inside the city to go to university. So the city is around 15 minutes bus ride from the university, and all the surrounding suburbs of the university is considered quite affordable places to live in. Next slide, please. These are one of our projects that are coming up in next to the university. Just one of our bus stations will be converted to a very nice accommodation, and this is a layout of the the capacity for 3,600 beds, and we'll also have a lot of we'll have a train station, bus station will be available, and canteen, and many hotel-like accommodation for anyone who's going to bring his family for the first time. Curtin University today. Curtin University is the destination of most of Western Australian applicants. So 51% of our citizens and population of Western Australia go to Curtin University. There are other universities in Western Australia. We have Murdoch University, we have Edith Cowan University, University of Western Australia, and University of Notre Dame in Fremantle. So more than half of the population in Western Australia choose Curtin University. We have more than 56,000 students. 26% of those students are international, and we do have different campuses all around the world. We have the main campus in Perth, and there's another campus also in Western Australia in Kalgoorlie, which is mainly for mining students. So Curtin University School of Mines is considered the second best university in the world to provide mining engineering, just right after Colorado School of Mines. We have a campus in Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai, and Mauritius. And we are working on a kind of a global curtain. So it's easy to move around between universities. So if you'd like to do a year in Dubai, a year in Mauritius, a year in Malaysia, and to finish off in Western Australia, it's all up to you. It's very nice and seamless transferring between those universities. 4 faculties we have in Curtin University: Business and Law, Faculty of Humanities, Faculty of Health Sciences, Faculty of Science and Engineering. We have a dedicated sponsored unit, and we have engagement team in each faculty. And we also do have a Curtin College or Curtin English school. So if you do, let's say you want to go study pharmacy, the entry level for pharmacy is you have to get the 7 in IELTS and a minimum of 7 in each band. But don't stress, if you don't get that band, you can easily just transfer to our Curtin English school, where we will give you 10 weeks of free English to reach whatever level of English that you need to get into the major, and you can jump into the university afterwards. And we also have Curtin College for those who are not studying CBCE. So CBCE is recognized the foundation program in Curtin University, but if you do not study CBSE, if you're doing government Omani government school curriculum, you have to go to a foundation, and that foundation can also be done in Curtin College, which is a college within the university. Next slide, please. COVID situation in Australia and Western Australia. Next slide, please. So the current overview of Australia in general is very good. The Australian health authorities started to monitor the COVID situation very early in 2020, and as you know, the borders are closed for around 19 months now. The reason is Western Australian government has decided that it is best to close those borders to contain the COVID spread around the community. And they did an excellent job, to be honest. The total number of COVID cases in Australia does not exceed, I think, 5,000 for 1.5 years now. And the community transfer in Western Australia has been 0 in the past, I think, 1 year. So we do have cases coming from other states, but transferring between one case to another within Western Australia is very minimal. And this action has been taken into place to just keep people safe. And all the universities have moved most of their courses online, and you can still apply. I mean, you do get a $5,000 scholarship if you fully enroll in 2022. That will give a very good incentive to join our university. And as soon as the borders open, you can immediately apply. And we do have, there are some talk that's happening with the federal government on opening the borders sometime soon. We'll just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. And once we get this over this pandemic, and we can maybe have this event sometime face to face, we'll just have to hold tight. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so our global ranking. So we are considered #1 in Australia when it comes to Masters of Mineral Energy and Economics. We are considered #2 in the world in engineering and mineral engineering, engineering and mineral mining. And we are considered top 100 in civil and structural engineering. We are #35 in the world on earth and marine science. We are also considered top 1% in the world when it comes to our global ranking. And we are we're getting 5 stars from the QS ranking. Next slide. We are #9 in Australia, so might of you maybe heard of the group of 8 of universities. These group of 8 are old universities, and because they provide medicine, and though normally when you provide these kind of majors, you get your ranking higher. And but we are the best university outside of this group of 8, and we do have medicine at the moment. We just opened our medicine medical school around maybe 4 years ago, and we are accepting international students starting semester 1 2022. We are #2 in Australia when it comes to chemical engineering, and we are #7 in the world when it comes to metallurgical engineering. Next slide, please. Getting around in Perth and in Curtin, if you may. So there is a government transportation company called the Transfer. It is a non-profit company. So the cheapest way to get around in Australia is using Transfer, because as long as you're a student, you can get a concession. You don't get that in the other states. And use the bus. If you get a card, you can ride the bus, ride the ferry, ride the train, and yeah, that's about it. And we do have Curtin cabs, so if they work from 7 a.m. to 10:45. So these buses go in different routes around the university. So if you live somewhere near the university and you finish studying at 9 p.m. at night, and you see the bus, and you can ask them to drop you free of charge. We have Curtin driverless bus. That the driverless bus goes around the university, and public transport, like I mentioned earlier. And the Smart Rider card is the card that I've mentioned, where you can get a 40% discount, which is a significant amount. You can also drive around in Perth, and as long as you have international license from Oman, you'll be able to drive around in Perth. Just please note that we are driving in Curtin on the right side. On the left side of the road, but right side of the car. And yeah, please, next slide. What can you do? What is available in campus? So we do have a Curtin Stadium that has different courts for futsal, basketball, badminton, tennis, and beach volleyball. We have a health center where you can go if you're feeling a little bit under the weather. You can just go to the health center. And also have many events. Every Wednesday, there's a common free time from 12 to 1, where you can find a lot of, how do you say it in English, those cars, the restaurants in cars, I can't recall the name. And we do have a library that is open 24 hours. And we have many restaurants that within the university that serve halal food, that serve big vegetarian food, and other stuff. And we do have retail outlets where you can buy things like books, pens, pencils, rulers, and so forth. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is surrounding Curtin University? So Curtin University is surrounded by many, so it's only 15 minutes ride to the city. If you see on the bottom right corner, just next to the free Wi-Fi across the campus. Just under the skyline, you can see the city, and right in front of you, you see our Curtin campus. This is the chemistry precinct. It's a 15 minutes ride. There is a river that separates you, so there's a bridge, and you can also take the ferry. There are lots of shopping centers around the campus. There is a Waterford shopping plaza, which is 5 minutes walk from the campus. There's a Carousel shopping mall, which is around 7 minutes ride by bus. And it's also worth mentioning that Curtin University as a whole is a smoke-free university. So whoever wants to smoke has access to leave the campus to be able to smoke. We do have a bank inside the university, Bank West, and you can just go there, open a bank account. But you can also do that before leaving month. You can do it online in these times. Next slide, please. So we look forward to seeing you and welcoming you to Curtin University. This shot is actually taken from a place called the King's Park. It overviews the city. It's very nice to see the sunrise. It's actually the sunrise and the sunset. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to fire it away. I'm here to answer your questions. I will write my email and my phone number in the chat box. If you don't feel like talking now, if you have any question that will come up anytime in the future, I'll be more than happy to talk. Please do remember that I'm actually living in Oman. So if you want to meet me, we can set up a meeting anytime soon, anytime I am available. We can meet at any coffee shop. We can meet at a StudyCo's office. Please, StudyCo is one of our best agents. StudyCo is actually the agent that processed my application to Curtin University around 11 years ago. So yeah, they are very experienced and they look after you, and they will do they process your application from A to Z for free of charge, if I might say. That's all from me. I'm here if you want to ask any questions, and I just put my email and my WhatsApp. I am way faster in replying WhatsApp, and I do apologize about the technical difficulties of the at the beginning of our presentation. For some reason, I am not very good at working with Apple products, and just updated my laptop, and it decided to say no to me this time. And I do apologize again, and thanks for StudyCo's team to saving the day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was truly an enriching and captivating session. Sir, may I now request you to answer a few queries which have been raised by our valued audience. I would also like to invite the moderator to proceed with the Q&A session.
I thank you once again, sir, for providing plethora of information and for the enlightening session. Sir, here, we have some questions posted by the by the audience. With your concern, may I go ahead with question and answer session, sir?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, sir. So maybe obtain some ideas about the fee structure, sir.
Okay, so the fee structure, I do have a PDF file that I can share with StudyCo, and they can send it throughout to you. It gives you, it's an overview of the International Student Guide about living as a student in Perth and studying in Curtin. So the fee structure varies from around, I would say from 20,000 to 45,000 Australian dollars per year. Plus, please note that we do have a $5,000 discount for whoever fully enrolls in 2022, and we do have up to 25% merit scholarship of your first year, so 25% of your fees of your first year, for those who are high achievers in the program of the CBSE. You guys do the CBSE, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So brilliant. So anyone who scores something like 70% or 75%, it is automatically they get processed for a merit scholarship.
Okay, so thank you very much, sir. And what kind of placements would you produce, here, sir? I mean, what kind of
Placement?
placements would you produce from your university?
Uh, so,
Yeah.
so you mean hands-on work experience?
Campus interviews, something like that. Do you provide?
We don't
for the
have any
students?
interview. Yeah, we don't have any interview. So with your CBSE, you're fully eligible to go straight to university. The only major that you might do some extra work, like an extra, it's called the UCAT ANZ test. It's the medicine program. So the medicine program will need you'll have to do an interview, a test, a UCAT test, and a few other things because it is a very elite program and very, very limited number of seats that's available to international students.
Okay, sir. So you have mentioned, I mean, you have talked about the COVID situation there in Australia. So I have a question in that. So what are the vaccination or which are the vaccination certificates are accepted for the students, for the overseas students?
Okay, at the moment, because we are still not accepting, so the borders are fully shut in Australia. Australians cannot leave Australia and no one can come in now, unless if you are Australian who's stranded abroad. Even that, it is very complicated now because you've had 18 months to do so. What have you been waiting for? So it's very complicated when it comes to going back to Australia. But I do believe as long as you are vaccinated, fully vaccinated, sometime I really hope mid next year, we will have a very clear plan on when will the borders open. And we in Oman, we are very also strict when it comes to our COVID vaccines. We are only, I think we have approved only 4 or 5 vaccines. So Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Sputnik, and I think a couple more. I can't remember the names, but as long as I think you're fully vaccinated, I think is the key to entering Australia whenever the borders.
Okay, so well noted. So can you throw some light on the campus life?
It's see, I was in Perth for 6.5 years. It's amazing. It's the place is very nice. Wi-Fi is available even outside. The library is open for 24 hours. Food is available on campus. There are also sleeping pods, if you would believe. So if you are feeling tired, you can sleep in the library. There are sleeping pods where you can cover yourself and just take a power nap for 20, 30 minutes and go back to studying. It's very accommodating to students. The thing is when there are so many people have different ways of studying. So in the library, we have a silent area. So for those who like to study in total silence, no phones, no talking, no group chatting, you go there. If you like to study in a group, we have rooms available. If you like to study with a computer, there's the computers available. If you like to study at night, the library is open 24 hours. So the idea is we accommodate all ways of studying, and that so we can help the student to achieve what he believes, what his studies, and to achieve his highest of dreams.
Yeah, that's interesting, sir. Thank you very much for taking the time to respond patiently. Now I hand over the session to the comparers, Sana and Ashley.
Thank you, sir. We are truly grateful for your relevant, valued, and patient answers to all our queries. I am sure that the participants are enlightened and have got a true picture of the prospects available for them at your esteemed organization. Audience, please remember to fill in the feedback form.
As we have come to an end of this session, I would like to take the privilege to put my appreciation and gratitude on record. It's my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, the organizing team, and the entire audience, let me first express a profound sense of gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq Al Said for the magnanimous benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower abundant blessings in His Majesty and this peaceful and prosperous country of our residence.
We extend heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Mr. Abdullah Al-Kindi from Curtin University. Thank you, sir. The session was truly informative and enlightening. It opened up new vistas in front of us. Our deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman, and other esteemed members of the board and honorary directors in the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams, for your inspiring presence and guidance at all times. We are indeed grateful to our platinum sponsor, StudyCo, gold sponsors, Jain Group of Institutions, Grey Matters Academics, Vellore Institute of Technology, and Sri Ramachandra Institutes of Higher Education. Bronze sponsors, Middle East College Oman, Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Dallas Baptist University, and MIT World Peace University located in Pune. Our digital marketing partner, Spectrum, and our media partner, The Arabian Stories, and valued donors.
A sincere thanks to Mr. Alkesh Joshi, the Honorary President of Indian School Wadi Kabir School Management Committee, and other members of the committee for their overwhelming encouragement at all occasions. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to our tower of strength and fountain of motivation, our beloved principal, Mr. D.N. Rao. Honorable principals of all the participating schools in the MENA region, vice principals, assistant vice principals, coordinators, supervisors, and the entire teaching community of all the participating schools for their support, guidance, and active involvement.
I wish to thank each and every student and parent for their valuable presence in making this global career fair, Avenue 2021, a grand and mesmerizing event. An event of this kind requires the coordination of a committed team. My earnest and heartfelt thank you to my ISWK team behind the scenes, working tirelessly and making Avenue 2021 a tangible reality. Last but not the least, I thank Almighty God for making this session a grand success. Thank you all. See you tomorrow for the next session. Please check the Avenue website, avenueuman.com, for details of further sessions. Signing off for the day are your hosts, Sanna and Ashley. Take care and good night.